There we go. Okay.
Hello.
How's it going? We're Gravehuffer. I'm Ritchie. I play guitar.
I'm Mike. I play bass.
We also have a singer, James, and our drummer, Larry.
And they're in Chile on motorcycles right now. They can't be here right now.
Yep. Alpaca 500.
Okay. So number one, introduce yourselves.
We did.
We just did that. Number two, how long has your band been together?
Well, Gravehuffer's been together since 2008. We did play in... Oh! I don't know what the hell that was. Sorry. We played in a band called Initial Detonation. This was like in 96, 97. And that was me, Mike, and our drummer Larry. And then we had Roger on guitar, and Janine and Gary sang. And so basically the three... Man, what the fuck? Sorry, I'm getting something, notification. The three of us, Mike, Larry, and myself, have been playing in a band together off and on since the late 90s. Gravehuffer started in 2008 after Mike, James, our singer, and Larry, our drummer, had been in another band called Ether Bunny, and Mike was on guitar in that band, and they had problems with the bass player at the time, so he switched back to bass. They called me. I was like, yeah, let's do this. And so we started out as we were called Crom at the time, which Crom is the god from Conan the Barbarian. He's Conan's deity. So we just started writing music fast and furious, and they taught me some of the Ether Bunny stuff that we wanted to play and include. So we've been doing it since then.
Okay. Is there a meaning behind your band's name? If so, what is it?
Well, no. There's really not a meaning behind it per se. We just thought it was a cool sounding name. Since we used to be called Crom, we changed it to Gravehuffer in 2012. And our friend Dozer, who was going to use the name Gravehuffer for this band that he had, and it ended up not materializing, so we decided to steal the name from him. Well, we didn't really steal it. We asked him, and he was kind enough to say yes, and so he said we had to give him free merch for life if we use the name. So anyway, we just thought it sounded cool, and then James wrote lyrics for a song called Gravehuffer, and so now it's kind of taken on a life of its own. But he's this character now. So.
Oh, well, how did you all meet?
Well, From what I can remember,
It was a singles bar.
yeah, it was called CG's or something.
CG's.
And so,
I had a red dress on.
and yeah, I was just wearing a trash bag, but yeah, we Gary and I, the singer for Initial Detonation, were in a band called Satan's Ice Cream Truck, and then we were wanting to put a tape out, and we sent it into this magazine called The Undergrowth, and we thought anybody could send them a piece of shit and get reviewed, and so we made a piece of shit, and it got reviewed, and they really liked it, and Roger was involved and said, hey, I want to put your tape out. So we went to Roger's house and met Larry, and we had to knock on the door about 50 times because he was playing drums with headphones on. And so he's like, who are you? And we're like, well, we're here to see Roger. And so we met Larry, got to know him and his Star Wars hat.
I met you guys at the Grind, right? Is that where you guys came and...
It was our first show.
We brought you something, or like we made you tape labels or something. Like,
was that it?
You guys came and I met you for the first time. You guys said you're like you're kind of afraid of me.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Oh my gosh.
I remember Gary telling me that.
That's right.
He's like, we don't want to even say anything to you.
That's right. Is that when he asked to touch your dreads?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, well there's a cool story for you.
All right. Who writes the songs and what are they about?
Well, we kind of all just pitch in and write the stuff. Sometimes Mike will come in with an idea, like Shut Up and Skate, for example. I mean, he pretty much had a vision for that song with music and the lyrics. And so he wrote the whole entire song on bass and said, all right, here it is. What are we going to do with this? And so we got together, fleshed out some ideas. Larry started playing. I was like, okay, this is sounding cool. And then we got to the second half of the song and we weren't sure what to do. Mike and Larry said, play some melody. And so we did that. And then Mike goes, all right, James, I want you to write this song about skateboarding. And James is like, I've never skateboarded a day in my life. So,
but he did a pretty good job.
So yeah, and so that's kind of the cool thing. Like, one of us can come in with an idea and say, hey, here's what I've got in mind. And then it turns into something like this, not completely different thing, but like Destroyer of Worlds, for example.
You brought that song in.
I brought that song in. And the drums Larry's played to it is like not what I had in mind whatsoever.
Yeah, it totally changes the course of it.
Right. But honestly, I like it a lot better. And I think that's what's cool about what we do. And then there's songs like Inherit the Wasteland or something where we just wrote that at a practice. Or Chains Around You. We just wrote that at practice one day.
Yeah.
And it just depends on who brings in ideas or who doesn't bring in ideas or what we're inspired by that day. As far as like, what are they about? Since James isn't here, I mean, I know some of the topics, but when we mentioned Shut Up and Skate, and we just like to write about stuff we like to have fun, but at the same time, you know, James can be pretty topical. Not political per se, but he writes about what's going on around him and how things affect him and how they filter through his mind, you know. Trying to think of something specific. Like Destroyer of Worlds, that's about Oppenheimer, the guy that invented the technology for the atomic bomb. And it's written through his perspective and kind of how he thought the technology was used. And so a little different take on it. We got a song about Aquaman and how he's pissed off because everybody makes fun of him, and so he tries to drown himself and forgets he can't. He can breathe underwater, and so
yeah, he was. He got kicked out of the Super Friends.
Yeah,
and then he goes to the National Guard. He even gets kicked out of the National Guard. They're like, yeah, we don't need you. You know.
Yeah. And
Go talk to the fishes.
Yeah. And so Wonder Woman dumps him, and he's anyway. So yeah, we just write about a lot of different stuff, and some of it's funny, some of it's pretty serious. And James has a big hang up with religion, so that's in a lot of our stuff. I would say about
50%.
About 30%.
Okay.
I mean, but you know. Anyway.
It says, describe your music to fellow listeners.
Well, it's a lot of it's pretty fast. I think that we play faster than pretty much any other bands around here. I don't know why that is, but I don't know, maybe it's just because of who we're into, and maybe being older guys too. But we're pretty varied too. You know, we play fast, we play slow, but there's an intensity to all of it, and so even when we're playing, even the songs that are fun and goofy, there's still an intensity to it.
Yeah,
so,
it's real fast and
yeah.
Let's see, what's your songwriting process? Lyrics or music first?
Seems like music first a lot of the times. I can't remember. I don't know if there's ever been anything we've written that's had lyrics first.
Yeah, lyrics first.
I don't know if we've done that before. Yeah, usually, it seems music's always comes first.
All right. What's the craziest thing that had happened on tour or at a show?
Oh man, I remember one time we got lost backstage, and we were like walking around trying to find the stage entrance, you know, and
That guy had to show us how to get there.
yeah,
It
he's
took
like,
us forever.
he kept saying, "You guys made a wrong turn. You need to
Good. Jog
jog
to the left.
And,
Jog to the left.
and we're like, "Well, no, we don't have time for that."
Then I got stuck in the tombstone.
Yeah, you got stuck in that tombstone,
Yeah.
and like you couldn't get your arm out, and you're like doing this, and
Got caught in there, and it opened up right at the end
right
of the
at
song.
the end of the song.
Right at the end
Yeah.
of the song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that was
And
pretty.
you had that Les Paul that sustained
Oh yeah,
like forever.
I could do this. Oh, go out and have a bite, and come back, and still going. You know.
Yeah.
So we're just.
But you could talk about the Nathan thing.
Well, yeah. In all seriousness, a friend of ours, Nathan, he recently passed away, and we were playing a show at one of our favorite, if not favorite, places here called Blackthorn, and Nathan brought all these like foam swords and shields, and they call them LARP weapons, live action role play. And he wrote like all the band's names on them, and put all these pentagrams and all these inverted crosses on them, and all this stuff. And we were playing with the Coventry Sacrifice, who's around here, and then we played with Public Assassin, who's from Springfield. And both those bands, especially Public Assassin, have been around since like the freaking 90s.
Early 90s.
Early 90s.
Yeah.
Well, Coventry, I'm not sure, but Public Assassin's been around, man. They were around way back when. And so we all played the show, and it was like amazing. Lots of people were there, and then we're playing, and then there's like these people like having sword fights and moshing, and
Like a Viking, like a Nerf Viking fucking foam pit.
yeah, it's a
People
Nerf.
beating the shit out of each other.
I had this big freaking,
Big gash.
This gash on my nose. You know John Ezel or Ezel?
No.
I can't remember how you say his last name, but he turned around and just goes whack and just knocked the shit out of me, man. My glasses just cut my nose. And
Yes.
so it was great, and I'm just died laughing. He was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." I was like, "No, dude." so yeah, that was probably one of the coolest things to ever happen while we played a show, easily.
Yeah, it was like more fun. Usually, when you're playing, you're the one having all the fun, or it seems like.
It seems like, yeah.
But then when I was watching that, I was like, well, "Someone else play me."
Yeah,
I'll fucking get out there
and do it. Yeah. I remember one of the Public Assassin guys came on the stage, and he had this big, huge, like aluminum foil sword. I mean, it was probably like 4 or 5 feet long, and he just stood there and held it, and he had some helmet on, and I don't know, it was like made of Coors Light boxes or something. It was great.
Yeah, that was fun. All right, how many CDs or EPs do you have so far?
Well, Your Fault is our latest, and it came out in March, and it's on CD and cassette and download, of course. And then we've got Blast Music, CD and download, and then that's just Gravehuffer. And then Crom was Chaotic Evil, and we haven't done any EPs, so we did have a 7-inch that had a couple of songs from Your Fault, and it was a 4-way split. And then we've been on various comps and stuff like that too. And then coming up, we're going to have Your Fault on vinyl, and that's going to be out on Blunt Face Records. We're recording 2 bonus tracks for that, and we've got one almost completely done. We're waiting on Carlo Regatas, who used to play in Carcass, and he's going to put a solo on top of that. And then the next song, we've pretty much got the idea fleshed out. We just need to get it recorded and tweak some of the drum arrangements, and then do that and give it to the label, and they're going to start pressing up the record. But we're going to do like a pre-sale crowdfunding campaign starting sometime in August. So you're coming up real soon. So by the time this video's out, it may even be ready.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and then we got this thing.
Oh yeah.
This is a audio book on tape kind of thing. See, it's a cassette.
Let's get close. There you go.
This USB comes out of this cassette. And it's got everything we've ever recorded so far on this little cassette. And
that's our videos too. The videos.
Yeah. It's got every song we've recorded, the 3 most recent videos that we did, which Mike from Skunkworks Audio Unit put those together.
Brad and Travis.
And so though we're really proud of those, in particular the Kill for Sport video. It's Mike and Brad. They animated it and scanned it in, and
Brad directed it, and it's kind of sick.
Yeah, it's
messed up.
It's kind of sick, tongue in cheek in a way.
Yeah, it's funny. It's
kind of funny, but it's like, oh my god, you know,
what the hell?
Yeah, it's warped.
Yeah,
and twisted. So anyway,
but it's on YouTube.
Yep, it's on YouTube. And Shut Up and Skate. We did. We just compiled a bunch of footage from a bunch of local skaters, and put that together. And then Destroyer of Worlds, we got some of the atomic bomb footage, and of course Godzilla, and put that together in a lyric video. So because the lyrics on that song are really cool and pretty thought provoking. So that's the videos.
James is kind of like goofy dude, but when you read his lyrics, you're like, sometimes I'm like, he didn't write that.
I know, right? You're like,
he thought, who the hell? Someone wrote that for me.
Right? He reads them.
I didn't know he could spell that word.
Right? He's pretty well read, though. I mean,
yeah,
he really is.
But he's always saying, I'm smart. So you're always like, you keep telling me you're smart. What the fuck?
That's hilarious.
All right, influences.
Oh, boy. I think that's why we sound the way we do. We're so varied because we have so many influences. I can only speak for myself. I like a lot of like classic metal and thrash, and my punk influences are basically from meeting these guys. Prior to that, I was just those Sex Pistols and Ramones and just the real big classic stuff. But I remember flipping through my dad's records and seeing like Judas Priest and Rainbow and stuff like that, and Kiss, and thinking like, man, that's what I want to do. And so started listening to that, Deep Purple. My name's Ritchie, and I was named after Ritchie Blackmore from Deep Purple. My parents are pretty cool. And so I'm like, if I didn't play music, I'd be a failure or something. But so yeah, definitely old 70s rock up through like the 80s thrash into the 90s death metal for me. Morbid Angel, and even like the weird like Godflesh and Napalm Death and that kind of stuff. I mean, as far as to me, that's kind of recent, but that's like old school for most.
Yeah, it is.
So,
but they're still kicking ass.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the Napalm Death still puts out.
Awesome, they're still going crazy fast.
Yeah. I saw them a couple years ago, and they were fucking insane. It was awesome. What about you?
I like punk, crust stuff, like Doom, Discharge, Mod 47. I remember the first punk thing that I had like heard that wasn't like Ramones or Sex Pistols. It was the first Suicidal Tendencies.
Mm-hmm.
And when I heard that, like I knew, I was like, that's for me.
Yeah.
I was like, what is that? It's like a whole world I don't know about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was sucked in right away.
I remember hearing that first Suicidal. I think I was like in middle school or something. This kid Jamie Garrity brought it on the bus.
Oh yeah, I know him.
Yeah, he brought it on the bus, and I was like, "What the hell is this, dude?" Yeah. I was like, "This is cool."
Someone just slapped you upside the head.
Yeah.
Wow, look at this.
What the hell? Yeah.
Yeah. It's like because they're already into skateboarding, but hadn't found that edge of it. You know what I mean?
That kind of fits with it.
Yeah. And they were like Black Flag and like, just the door. It was like a dam busting open.
Right. Yeah.
Just buying records, like you just look at the artwork and look at the titles, like, yeah, I'm gonna buy this.
That's mine. Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, you get turned on to so many different things, like Sabbath, like.
Oh yeah, Sabbath, Voivod.
Yeah, Voivod was badass.
Yeah, they're real big.
You listen to a little bit of everything, like Creator and Sodom.
Yeah, all that German thrash.
Yeah.
We could go on forever. Neurosis, Nausea.
And most of the times, like, you'd be skating a ramp or something, and someone would bring a new tape, like DRI.
Yeah, DRI.
That was up the ramp a lot.
Yeah.
Bob Marley,
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
People would just bring whatever, and that's when you got turned on.
Mm-hmm.
Just all these different friends bringing tapes. Like, hey, listen to this.
Right. Man, yeah, that's totally true. Yeah, skating somebody's quarter pipe or whatever, half pipe.
Yeah,
or,
they got their jam box out there.
Yeah, always. I always brought mine, dude, and I'd bring whatever. But yeah.
I had one of those like double-sided tape holders.
Oh yeah,
you know
yeah.
You like load that motherfucker up every couple of days. You're like, I got this.
Right.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
All right, plans for the future.
I think our immediate goals. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's getting this vinyl put out, and that's kind of our focus right now. We get asked about live shows a lot, and we've been on a bit of a hiatus, which is unfortunate. But we're kind of talking about that a little more now. There's some options out there that we're going to pursue as far as that goes. So we're going to try to hopefully set up a show very soon. Some of it, our drummer, the job he has now, he's on the road a lot. So we've talked about getting a fill-in drummer, or seeing how Larry's career arc takes him,
Yeah.
But that's kind of where we're at as far as that goes, and we're just playing it by ear as far as shows. But once everything gets smoothed out and the vinyl gets put out, that's kind of the main goal at this point. So. And then we're already writing for the next album, so
yeah, we got like one, we
got
got the two extra songs that we're putting on the vinyl.
Yeah, we wrote 2 songs that are bonus exclusive for the vinyl, and then we've already got another one, and then 3 or 4 other just ideas.
Yeah,
so
there's some stuff swimming around.
Yeah, always.
All right, what else do you do besides play music?
Well, I hang out with my family. I got 4 kids and my wife, and between that and work, I'm pretty busy. The kids, especially when school's in, they're always got something cool going on. And my oldest son plays trombone, which is pretty awesome, I get to experience a totally different style of music that I probably, don't normally listen to. So, and I get to watch him grow as a musician, and we get to talk music and stuff, and he's got that very deep not knowledge, his knowledge is still building, but he's got very deep appreciation for stuff that I don't want to say technical ability, but he can generally tell when something's cool and when something's not. His radar, you know what I mean? I mean, it's like he's getting a pretty good bullshit detector, I guess, and so that's fun. And speaking of Zach, we may have him play a couple of crazy notes on one of our new songs. We're talking about that. He keeps bringing it up.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That'd be cool to have him do like a and then harmonize it.
Yeah.
Or something.
Like a train crashing down.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah, it's like
You're dead.
Yeah, because that's what that part sounds like. It's so jacked up. But I mean, some of the new stuff we're writing doesn't sound anything like what we've done. So anyway.
But not on the bat.
I mean, it's a logical progression.
Yeah.
So it's more.
This is like our Into the Pandemonium.
Yeah, we're not doing that. No.
Vanity Nemesis.
Yeah. No, we're not. No. I mean, there'll be cool little parts, that may be mellow or something, but it's not going to be goofy. I hope not.
Oh, and I'm in a collective of guys, Skunkworks Audio Unit, and we take old silent films and we make soundtracks to them, and they're all on YouTube. If you want to look them up, Skunkworks is SKUNKWERX, an audio unit. You can watch them for free. There's 2 movies, and we're working on the 3rd one right now. That's about.
What movies?
Phantom of the Opera with Lon Chaney. and the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, and we're doing Metropolis right now, which is going to be the best one because like everybody's like kicking ass on this one, you know. So
and I've heard some of this, and it's awesome.
I think this is going to be this is going to be the one.
Yeah,
you know? It's like ta-da, you know,
right? Yeah.
If somebody wants, what do you do? This, you know.
Check this out.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay. What advice would you give fellow bands?
Well, let's see if I can remember what I said. No. I would say to just be passionate about it, and you always want to have fun doing it. And you always want to have, like, a good relationship with everybody that you work with, too. Because there's nothing worse than, like, being in a band with people you don't like, you know? I mean, life's too short for that, man. I mean, so, honestly, all the bands I've been in, well, almost all the bands I've been in. The very first band I was in, the drummer was kind of a douche, but anyway, you know, it was just, I'll use that as an example. It held us back, you know. He didn't want to put the time in to be better. He didn't want to help out with funding the band or anything, you know. And so it was just the three of us trying to forward the band, getting held back by him, you know. So that's the thing, you know. You want to definitely be in a band that you have chemistry with, and you know, all that stuff. That being said, be passionate about it, but you want to, without making this sound like it's a job, you want to treat it seriously. And, you know, because you can't just kind of screw off and expect good things to happen because you think you're a badass on your instrument or whatever, you know. I mean, yeah, you're probably going to get some attention, but if you don't have the right attitude about it, you're going to crash and burn. You are. And, you know, keep the partying and the drinking and all that stuff even keel, you know, and because that stuff can derail your musical journey, really, you know. I've seen it happen, you know. It's screwed up some people. Also,
can't shoot off my test, man.
I don't know if I have a whole lot more to add to that. I don't know. What do you think?
I think you pretty much covered it. You gotta, like, it comes from the heart, and if you're faking it, everyone's gonna know. Mm-hmm. Number one, you're gonna know.
Yeah.
You know. I don't know. It's you can tell if number one, if you're having fun, then keep doing it. Even if everybody tells you suck, if you love it and you have fun, then keep doing it.
Yeah.
You know, if you'll find somebody.
Yeah, somebody
will be like, I love this.
Yeah, somebody. somebody will dig it.
Yeah,
I guarantee you, because that's infectious, man. You know, if they're enjoying it, somebody's going to. I mean, you can't be the only person on the face of the earth that likes this particular way you're doing things. It's just not going to happen.
I'm going to fart on the snare drum and bang a tin can. Somebody's into it. Man.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. Somebody be like, oh my God.
They're like, I'll have a whole album of those farters running through different effects. You know? The same song. All different effects.
Yeah.
24 tracks.
Yeah. Like reverse reverb, and it's like, you know, and so it's.
This is the John Bonham. They did this one in a castle. You know? Farting in castles. Whoa. It's like the monks, you know, like.
Whoa.
Like.
Yeah. Gregorian chants. Yeah.
Gregorian chants out of your butthole.
Yeah.
But they might open up a hole into another dimension.
Like a wormhole.
Yeah. A reverse wormhole.
A brown wormhole.
Okay. Social media, others can locate you on.
Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, SoundCloud, Reverb Nation, Bandcamp. Go to our Bandcamp, gravehuffer.bandcamp.com. I don't know if I missed anything, but we're on all the social media. Just go.
Everything.
Everything.
Anything else you'd like to add?
Endorsements, Spectraflex, Killer Bee Guitars, Von York Strings, Sinister Guitar Picks. They're helping us out. We thank them so much.
Blunt Face Records is putting out the record.
Blunt Face Records.
Reality Impaired.
Reality Impaired.
They're homies always.
Yep. They've always done our stuff. So.
And you for watching this and buying stuff at Wicked Bands.
Thank you so much.
All the internet radio. Thank you guys. We appreciate everything.
Exactly.
It's awesome.
And we're proud to be a part of what we're doing. So we can't thank everybody enough that's helped us out.
Thank you.
Cheers.